Howdy folks, welcome to the channel. I'm coming from you in the Las Vegas Convention Center where we have the 2024 Minexpo. As you can see behind me, we got a lot of big equipment down here on the showroom floor. So let's go check things out. I know many of you probably don't have this kind of big equipment on your claim. Maybe some of you are just new to the hobby and all that, but it's really great to see what the big boys play with to give you some ideas. So come with me, we'll take the adventure down to the showroom floor and just check things out. I'm standing behind the business end of a 798 big cat dump truck. This thing holds over 370 tons worth of material, you can see here. So let's go ahead and take a trip up into the cab and check it out. Okay, here we go up the 798 dump truck by Cat. It's a big long staircase to get up to this behemoth. I mean, this is more than 2 stories up. There we go. Hi, how you doing there? Good to see you. Howdy. And here we are on the top deck here. Holy smoke, look at this place. All right, let's step into the cab here and check things out. Oh my gosh, look at this. Small little cab for such a massive piece of equipment. Look at the view out here in front. Unbelievable. You got to be like 2 stories up. Check out the instrument panel here. All the things you need, all the video, sensors. Yeah. And look at this, it comes equipped with rear view mirrors. Look at that. I'm sure there's one on the other side, but they probably took it down because of the staircase. But this is just unbelievable. But it's all climate controlled. Look at all the instruments up here for the air conditioning and stuff. Amazing. Yeah, you're up 2.5 stories probably. Quite the view out here. And here are some of the power plants that operate these big behemoth equipment. More power plants. We are at the Komatsu floor, so let's check out some of this huge equipment here they have on display. Absolutely amazing stuff. Look at that bucket behind me. Look at that front loader. Look at the scoop on that thing. So let's go check it out. My name's Alan, and he's going to show us a little bit about this Komatsu dozer here.
Yeah, so this dozer is very massive and very good lifting performance. So that's a very good sales point of the machine.
Wow.
And you can climb up here
and take a trip up there. Yep. Okay, now is this kind of the same? It's a version of like a D11, right? It's about the same kind of capacity and all that?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, well, let's go up the staircase and check it out. Here we go, right into the cab.
And this machine has a tele operation, tele-remote operation. You can see that how to tele-operate. It's there. So all this you got lights, cameras, and things like that too, because this thing is so huge. Yes.
Great. Well, let's step into the cab and check this thing out. Woo! Look at that. Okay.
So this cabin is very comfortable for custom operators, and this is this is a steering lever.
Okay, this is what controls it all. Yeah.
We can fix the posture. Using this lever, and this is for braid lever,
okay.
And this one is for ripping.
Now, the ripping tongue in the back, this is for ripping right here?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, very good. Yeah, this is for ripping here, guys. Yep.
And please watch the dipper point behind the...
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so we can see everything. Oh, sorry.
Right there. Okay, there we go.
Visibility is very good.
Excellent.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a view from up here. Check this out.
And we can see the...
And look out here at the front window. You can't even see the blade. I mean, so you almost have to rely on camera equipment to see where you're going, don't you?
Yeah. And we can see the behind of the.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, you can see kind of over in that corner there. Yeah.
Cut and corner.
And then same on this side, even though we got the stand in the way right here, but you can see the same thing.
Difficult to see.
Right. Yes. Wow, this is such a behemoth piece of equipment. Wouldn't you folks love to have one of this on your claim? Well, thank you very much for showing me. This is absolutely great. Thank you so much. Now we're standing here on top of the Komatsu loader, and let's look at that excavator over there behind me. Let's go check that out. This thing pulls out over 62 yards a scoop. Can you imagine that? That's a lot of material. Absolutely an amazing machine here. Look at that. Look where that cab is, way up there on the top. It's got to be about 2 stories up. It's like driving a house. Check out the monster track and rollers that are on this thing. Unbelievable. Huge, huge equipment. Behind me is the 2350 monster loader. Look at this thing. Huge wheels, huge bucket, and the cab way up there on top. Check out the size of this bucket. Isn't that immense? Look at the size of the tires compared to the people in front of it. Isn't that massive? Let's walk up to the cab here. And here we go. Let's climb inside and check it out. Wow. First of all, look at the view out here in front of you. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. And then down below we have our display of the instruments, all the data and details. Now, I don't drive this kind of equipment, so I don't know what to expect, but I'm just going to kind of point out to you all the cool stuff here. Here's obviously the joystick that operates it, and more of the control panel over here operating all the equipment. And if you look up here, we have behind rear view camera, so that way you can see what's going on behind you, so you don't back up into a truck or crush somebody. Yeah, look at that. What an amazing piece of equipment. You never know who you're going to meet at the Minexpo, but here's Tony Beats.
How's things going, guys?
Oh, we're doing good, man. We're just finding all kinds of gold out there in the desert.
You do, huh?
Running my wash plant and everything. So
how can you have a wash plant in the desert? You got enough fucking water there?
Yes, I have a way of recycling the water, filtering it, cleaning it, and then it goes back into the system. So I can process a cubic yard of material only using 40 gallons. How about that, huh?
Okay.
Yeah,
So
unlike you guys up there where you got lots of water.
So what do you do with in order to fill your ponds back up? Because you must lose by using evaporation. So where do you get the rest from? You truck it in?
I truck it in. I actually use a 260 gallon tank that I put in the back of my truck, and actually 150 gallons will last me a week yet. So that's how little water, so it's really stingy.
How many yards do you do in a week?
You can run through my system about 1 yard to 2 yards an hour. Okay, and so you figure if you're busting your butt, you can probably get about 2 yards a day. Yeah.
2 yards a day is how many?
But I'm getting 1 gram to 1.2 grams per yard.
Okay.
So I'm making I'm not getting rich, but I'm not poor either.
No, I get it.
I'm able to pay for the fuel. So.
Yeah.
So the thing I wanted to ask you is, what do you do, like in the, because the winter is so rough, how do you work on your equipment to get it ready for the next season?
You don't.
You just take it out there and cross your fingers?
When the day comes that it turns cold, we'll just say, fuck it. We'll put in a pail over the exhaust and walk away.
Is that it? That's it.
And then we'll come back in the spring, we'll just fire it right back up.
Really?
That's all we do.
So what if something needs like a new tranny or something like that, or a new pump?
Then you do that in the spring.
Wait till the springtime to do it.
Then people are hungry, they work better.
Ah, I see. Yeah, because I wonder, it's like so freezing cold. How do you work in that cold and the iron and all that?
We could put it in the shop, or we could do whatever, or send it away. We're way better off doing it in-house and do it during the season.
Okay.
This way, like in the spring, people need money, they work better.
He's got it down, doesn't he, folks?
So there you go.
Well, pleasure meeting you, Tony.
There you go, man.
Enjoy the show. Good
you
to
have
see
a good
you.
one. Yeah, I would get a bigger water tank.
I'm working on it.
So you get more fucking water.
Yeah, actually, so we can run more material and get more gold.
One thing leads to the other, doesn't it?
It does. Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Good to see you, buddy.
You bet, man.
All right. Peterson Group, and this is Crystal here, and she's going to tell us more about the company and what they supply for the mining industry.
Hi, I'm Crystal with Utah Fab, also representing TICO. We do steel fabrication as well as in the field installation.
Dallas Kane, so project engineer over at Utah Fab.
Okay.
So like she was saying, Peterson Industrial Group, we've got Utah Fab, so a lot in the mining industry. We fabricate thickeners, clarifiers, rake arms. We get into some structural steel, so kind of a job shop. So we'll go through and we'll create tanks and all that good stuff in these thickeners, and then we'll do the structures that are supporting it around it. And then we've got TICO, and they do the field installation. So they'll go out into the field and they'll install all the equipment that we've fabricated. And then we've got Rocky Mountain Railcar Repair, so they got a bunch of rail cars that they go through and they repair and certify and all that good stuff.
That's awesome. So you're working with heavy equipment, heavy materials.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yep.
The big boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
The big boy
Definitely.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Great.
This is our GM, Cole Dangerfield.
Cole Dangerfield. Currently we're working on a drum in our shop. Weighs approximately 140,000 pounds fully assembled. One section of it will end up being about 90,000 pounds. So some hefty structure or hefty plate work that we're dealing with. We are an ASME certified pressure vessel shop as well as an AISE structural certified shop for our quality control programs that we run at our facility. So,
well, fantastic. It sounds like you guys are really into it, and you're from Twilla, Utah.
Yep. Oh,
All right. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Definitely, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. This is day 2 of the convention, and just kind of walking around the showroom floor, and you can just kind of see things here as I'm walking along. I mean, there's like literally thousands of booths all over the place. You can't possibly see it all in one day. It's just massive. In fact, it's probably going to take me all 3 days to actually see most of the stuff. And of course, there's all kinds of different companies all over the world globally that are here, from China, Canada, Germany, South Africa, Australia, just besides the U.S. It's just absolutely fantastic. And you can just see all the neat stuff around here. It's just unbelievable. So anyhow, let's go ahead and just kind of stroll around and take a look at the stuff. Awesome. Hey, Jeff, check this out. Wouldn't you like to have one of these guys for your drift mine? Look at that. It's all electric powered. It's remote controlled. You can muck out a lot of material with this thing. Look at that. Yeah, here's the controls right here. You got all your features to move the bucket back and forth and all that. Yeah, gotta get one of these, buddy. For those of you familiar with the Gold Rattler, I use a dewatering shaker deck at the bottom of the system to separate the solids from the liquids. And behind me is a giant dewatering deck. Now, actually, I got a lot of information on how to make my dewatering deck from this particular design. I'm here with Bob, and Bob's going to show us more about his dewatering shaker deck or shaker deck system. And he's from General Kinetics. And so
General Kinematics.
Kinematics. Yes, I get it right.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, like we said, we're here at the Minexpo 2024, Las Vegas. This is our STM 2-mass vibrating screen. A single deck machine. You can see it's installed horizontally. When we say 2-mass, it's 2 masses because 1 mass is our exciter mass up top, and the body of the machine itself, where it's handling the material down below. Those are the 2 different masses. They're moving opposite of one another as the machine operates and runs. So they're out of phase, 180 degrees out of phase with one another.
So as the upper deck moves up, the lower deck moves downward then, right?
That's correct. As the exciter goes up, the trough comes down, and then vice versa as the machine is operating.
Wow.
Roughly 720 RPM.
That's some crazy physics going on.
That is, yes. And it's about a half-inch stroke on the body of the machine.
Half-inch stroke, that's pretty good size. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as you can see up in the top here, you've also got a series of springs. Those springs is what creates the 2-mass system and gives the machine its natural frequency abilities, which allows it to amplify under a high load.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah, excellent.
Well, let's go look at the business end of it.
Back here we've got the VFD, which drives this machine. So this machine has 4 vibratory shaker motors up top, hard to see from the back. But this VFD, variable frequency drive, runs those 4 motors. And something kind of an interesting point to note, you can see there's the machine right now is running at a load, an amp load of 37 amps. So the normal load on this machine is, with 4 motors, 80 amps. So we're running only about half our normal capacity for the total amp load of the motor, each of the 4 motors themselves. So
Wow.
this machine also runs at a very low power consumption. That's another selling advantage of the machine itself.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, when it's loaded with material, several tons, I would imagine, then it changes that dynamic.
Ever so slightly, it doesn't really change. It might
No.
it might increase only 10 or 20%.
Wow.
The higher amp load is really more for starting. But once the machine's up and running, it doesn't take a lot of amp load to maintain that operation.
That is neat. That is really cool. So very, very efficient energy-wise, and doesn't need a lot of change. Even when you have it loaded up with material, it just rolls.
Absolutely. And actually, with the material, the machine, this type of machine, the 2-mass design, increases in stroke, which is opposite of a lot of the other, I'll
Right.
say, competitor machines that are out there. Direct drive machines,
Yes.
they decrease under stroke.
Right,
Or
yeah, they would
decrease
get
under
load up.
load. Excuse me, decrease under load.
Right.
So, which decreases your tonnage output, decreases your flow rates. This is just the opposite. It's going the other direction, which
Wow.
doesn't hurt any operations anywhere. So,
Well, that sounds like my dewatering deck, because if it gets too loaded,
Yep.
then it slows down.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
it does, yeah. I
Loses
mean-
amplitude. The amplitude then reduces the flow. And
Right, and then
material.
therefore you're spilling material and water off the end that should be dewatering.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Yep.
And where this machine, that alleviates that situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's show you the other end.
Here we go, folks. We're just going to walk along here. Look at these springs in action here. Look at that. Moving like about at least a half an inch, right?
Yeah, the body itself is about a 1/2-inch stroke. These are all the isolation springs. So this is just isolating the motion of the vibratory body to the steel bonding structure.
Wow. Yeah, look at all this spring configuration up here. Sitting at 45 degrees, look at that. So that way it allows it to vibrate up and down and forward and aft.
And these springs are actually all E-coated and then polyurethane coated on top of that for corrosion resistance.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because a
out
lot
there.
of these screens you run water on, so they're
Right.
there to keep that corrosive water off of them.
Exactly. Okay.
So here we are at the end of the screen. So this screen is 12 foot wide overall. That's the deck area by 28 foot long. So that is the total deck size of the machine. Roughly 100,000 pounds is the size of the machine. You can see that that's the feed box on the far end.
On the
And
far end.
Material flow would come at us.
Right.
And all these decks are modular, so as well as the side panels and the end panels, all interchangeability with wear over time or
Sure.
changing of screen sizing, whatever we needed to do.
Yeah, as I see the screen here, looks like it's at least a 1/2 inch.
Yeah, roughly, this is I think a 1/2 by 1, roughly,
right.
or 1 by...
So if you wanted something finer, because maybe maybe you're running finer material through here, and so you want to bring in a finer screen to do better dewatering, depending on the situation.
Totally adjustable,
Right.
customizable to the application.
Or
itself.
you'd have 2 of these machines in tandem, so if you wanted to break it down or go to some kind of other centrifuge or something like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. They're beautiful. Look at those springs there bouncing around. Look at that. See how it's actually bouncing independently? See how the one goes up, the other goes down? Look at that.
You can almost
See
find
that?
a node point in the spring where you have no motion, then you have motion on top, motion on bottom.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool? I think that gets you sick just watching it after a while.
What you see up top here, these are the lube lines that go to the 2 motors on this side of the machine, then there's another set of lube lines on the other side.
On the other side. Wow.
So everything can be lubed while the machine's running.
Fantastic. Well, Bob, thank you so much. I really appreciate
My pleasure.
it. Pleasure meeting you and showing us the machine around. That's
You got
awesome.
it. Glad
All
to
right,
be here.
thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, she got one. Check out the simulator right behind me. Here you can learn how to drive some of the equipment here. Oh, what? Everybody should have one of these in their home. Check this out, virtual truck driving. Keep it on the road. doing, Rick? Good to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, you're a lot taller than I've seen you on TV.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big person. A lot bigger than people realize. 99% of people that meet me say you're a lot bigger.
Look at this, guys. Unbelievable. So, hey, how was the season?
It's still going. We're still sluicing.
So you're still up there. You haven't been frozen out yet.
I'm frozen out. It was snowing when I left to come here, which was a shock because I got off the plane. It was 100 degrees.
Wow.
But no, my guys are still sluicing. I'm going back tonight.
Fantastic. So what do you think about the new gold prices?
Fucking awesome. I just wish food prices would go down.
Yeah, and fuel prices, food, everything else. Yeah.
No,
So does the
prices.
gold help with the fuel and all that kind of stuff?
It's close. It's always so close. The tolerances in that business are so tight.
Oh, I'm sure.
But obviously, can do nothing to help. Every day when I open up the gold app that I have to see the price, it's been a good string of days.
So are you still working Rally Valley and all that? Or did that fade
Yes.
out?
Well, I can say yes.
Yes. Okay.
Watch the show.
Oh no, we can't talk about. Edit that out.
No, we're yes. I can say that much. Rally Valley still exists.
So what do you do in the winter time for like, the equipment like needs repair and all that kind of stuff? Do you you just leave it alone and fix it later, or how do you go in there freezing cold and sit there and work on all that metal?
I'll tell you, it's tough. It's tough to schedule that because there's no shop. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
We basically have a program where we try to keep up on it all year, but at the end of the season, everyone's beat.
Yeah.
So the stuff we can do, we'll take it aside and we'll order the parts and we'll try to get it done before we leave. But most of it, honestly, we winterize it.
Yeah.
Over the winter, we'll order everything to make sure it's going to be there when we get there. And then we get there in the spring, we spend a few weeks getting everything.
Just banging it out. Yeah. Because what if you need to do a pump or a transmission or something?
Those guys are out there and it's minus 30 and they're pulling it, and that's how it is. That's life.
That's crazy.
That's life. If we wanted to put it in a shop, the nearest shop's 6 hours away, and to transfer a 75-ton machine, that's 3 loads. It's not economical.
It's not economical at all. So hey, I'm glad to see you and enjoy the show out here, and good luck to you at the end of the season, and have a good holidays and all that coming up here pretty soon.
You got it.
Good to see you, buddy.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you don't want to get your fingers caught in this thing. Look at this big, massive crusher breaking up all the material. In fact, here's the video showing it in action up here on top. Wow. I'm standing in front of the Surimi booth here. Now, these guys manufacture a lot of really great water pumps. In fact, the Gold Rattler uses their smaller pump. As you can see behind me here, we got larger units as well. In fact, some of them have been featured on Gold Rush in the past series. So let's go ahead and check out some of the cool looking pumps they got here. Okay, what we're looking at here is the Surimi pump. This is the small one that is actually in the Gold Rattler. And look at that. What they're doing is just demonstrating how fast, how much volume this pump can actually put out. There's another one over here on this side. And all they're doing is just toggling back and forth. Look at the sand and material down here. See all that sand? And that pump is just pumping the sand like it's nobody's business. That's how efficient these are. The impellers on them are really super strong. They'll hold up to 1/4 inch material all day long. And of course, these pumps, unlike the ones you buy on the internet or at Harbor Freight, these are for continuous use. And that's what I love about this. So when you have the Gold Rattler wash plant, you won't have any worries about the pump. This thing will just keep pumping for you all the time. Isn't that cool? Yeah, check out this bad boy. This one here was actually on Gold Rush, and so they've made a couple of them. Look at the big, huge pumps, obviously running on super high voltage. Pretty amazing. Here's another neat looking pump. These are all super professional. So if you're thinking about building a wash plant, these are the folks to go visit to get your pump. Here's a dewatering deck by Elgin. Check out this thing. It's instead of having a standard twin motors up there, it has a single motor that actually has a drive belt that goes down to a set of counterweights that rotate the weights, so therefore you still get the same vibratory effect. And we come on down to the bottom of the deck here, and you can see the fine polyurethane deck screening. Look at that. Look how fine that is. All the way up. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tour of the 2024 Minexpo. I certainly had a fantastic time. I mean, there's just so much to see. It's just incredible, massive machinery and equipment, all what the big boys play with. And there's some other things too, really unique things, great ideas. It's been totally awesome. It's been an excellent experience. I hope you enjoyed touring around with me as well. And if you like this video, be sure to smash that like button. So that way it helps me out in the algorithm of YouTube. And please subscribe to the channel as well by hitting the subscribe button and the little bell, so that way you get notifications whenever I have a video. So anyway, I just want to wish you the very best in your prospecting adventures. Get out there and find some gold, because it's still out there, because these guys are digging it too. And we'll see you next time, and thank you for watching.